Here. Yeah, I just want to go to something about something that was on the Texas Monthly about a few days ago, and I just wanted to go. Come on out. Oh fuck. Okay. Okay. Takes hospital in distress. Okay, yep. Yeah, it's been going on for years, ever since Texas refused to take part of the Obamacare. But let's get down to it. The loss of local doctors and hospitals can be implicated beyond the health of residents. Rural advocates often explains that the communities are supported by three-legged stool of healthcare, education, and industry. And with those legs weakened, the whole community is at risk. In Texas, a dystopian scenario has been increasingly real. Hospitals close their doors, schools struggle to stay afloat, and with the community unable to attack other industries, data centers move over and soak up the water that already has been piped off to fast-growing cities and stuff. You're seeing that Texas is a state with a large rural population and the abundance of farms and ranches and tightness small towns is fundamental answer to the Texas identity. Strikingly how consistently we chip away at those three legs. One of the clinics that Health Point was forced to close last year, and Summerville was with the sole provider. Summerville is in Bolson County, which is in 2028. The city of San Antonio began piping water out of this Calzona Cox Occupy. Over the past several years, pipelining to carry off local water has been structured to the reason leading to the significant drop in groundwater level. Some landowners have lost access to water beneath their land. In Fayette County, just south of Boston, with Commissioner recently passed a measure opposing data centers, required a large amount of electricity and water to operate. The resolution didn't give the commission the authority to regulate these facilities to prevent them from being built, but it sent a message to state lawmakers that rural residents are concerned about the resource drainage of the country. We're on a run on the water resource system seems to go hand in hand with the deteriorating healthcare system. With a hospital facility Fayette and Lee counties used to be St. Mark's Medical Center LaGrange. When I talked to the CEO of St. Mark's in 2023, he said, "We don't have the balance sheet that we need to be able to wade through these troubling waters." The hospital closed several months later, and plans has been in the works ever since. To get a better sense of how our communities have fared after a hospital closed, I called James Deck, the mayor of Stanford, 45 minutes north of Abilene. Deck took office before Stanford already hospital shut down, and 2020 local office has beefed up the town ambulance service, which now must transport patients to New County, or in some cases all the way to Abilene or Lubbock. When a pregnant friend of Decker went to labor unexpectedly, it was enough time to get her to the hospital, so the EMT delivered the baby at her house. Meanwhile, the Guru data set has moved to north of Stanford. Its developers made a deal to buy water from the city reservoir. Decker, dubious of the data center boom, says that rural communities have few options when it comes to attracting new industries. If Google can find a few jobs, reduce the rate, maybe that should allow a separate team to stay in the community. Maybe they'll raise a family and the kids to be separate buildings like the past. That's something that Matt Decker told me is something that grows increasingly where small towns like this. Yeah, there you have it. Data centers. Going down here. Yeah, there we go. The first page. This holds Donald Hood office from Tyler County. Rumor solid industry where they saw lay us water. Now the house was still Sarah Williams Hoey through the same course every day. Inside the one-story building bricks wall is he's seen patients, most of them whom are neighbors and friends, treated for matters of mental health. He has been summoned back to life after heart attacks and strokes. He has seen them wheel and bleeding facility from gunshot to stab. Now she watches some takes her. The story serves a reminder how Tyler County Hospital is to the corner of southeast Texas, where Williams has been her whole life. Becoming a CNO in 2018, she spent most of her career in emergency medicine. Trained at the hospital school for case of duty and took the job as a year. After earning her master's degrees in nursing, she worked her way up to emergency department director and then chief nursing officer. During Hurricane Rita in 2005, she hunkered down the ER while the country was on activation, so the hospital could reopen as soon as the weather has passed. Then Hurricane Harvey caused severe flooding in the region in 2017, and she made room at the hospital for a patient that has been evacuated from Port Arthur. She helped lead the country for that until the early days of the COVID pandemic, and with the teams that got vaccine and thousands of residents soon became available. Republican politicians from the president down to the local state reps are aware of the needs and support of federal voters staying power as any Democrats hope to win statewide office. Rural health has been constantly becoming a buzzy political term for the past year. New state and federal funding for wider rural industries like Tyler County is coming. Attention is not lost around. I felt unseen for many years, so right now I feel very popular. We would like some new funding to cover tuition for the hospital news to commit to work in the community after graduate. In one way, she'll learn the team imagine spending money. They won't know how far to go to just state and federal funding fully distributed. The contemporary cast review won't ensure the hospital financial stability indefinitely, but with Williams by saying a new long-term legislative investment in streets in a place like Woodbury, others feel the measure was simply a band-aid slap in a broken system. But the dynamic of healthcare in rural hospitals like Woodward and Tyler County have changed dramatically since the 62-year-old Williams was born. By the mid-90s, the hospital could no longer retain obstetrics, which offer labor and delivery, so what to be seen in the nursery now a modest gift shop. Spectrum order for Woodbury and surrounding towns must factor into birth plans. Half-hour drive race to Livingston or hour's drive to Beaumont left the same is true for those in need of surgery and other procedures like coloscopies. Of course, the hospital can no longer offer essential service. It doesn't mean that the need disappeared. We do not have labor and delivery, Williams told me empathetically, but we do have babies. That's unfortunately in the ER. Finding report by local property taxes. The hospital is one of the top employers of Tyler County, where it has 20,000 residents. Though Williams and her colleagues continually struggle to come together to finally keep the door out, the hospital have avoided a massive unsustainable death. In Texas, where the more rural hospital closed at the end of the states in recent years, that's a notable achievement. 7 years of plays Texas, likewise affect facilities in the country. Population decline, rising costs, staff shortage, many health care challenges, the state face are self-imposed. Texas has the highest rate of uninsured residents in the nation. It was one of the 10 states to legislate has declined and expand Medicaid coverage under the Obama-era affordability. Speed over the past decade plus, we left tens of billions of federal dollars on the table. Figure the dwarfs to fund this. There's no grants to the state with the highest rate of fewer closely. Picture tends to be the one that have expanded Medicaid. Studies show that rural hospital Medicaid expenses financially outperforms the counterparts in non-expensive rate states. Even among the states that have declined $88, Texas has the most restrictive Medicaid limits for all adults and amongst the most restrictive for poor. What's more, the 2023 Congress limited COVID-era moratorium on removing recipient of Medicare rolls. In August last year, Governor Abbott met with Robert Kennedy Jr., the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services at the state capitol, or to extend the olive branch to the rural leaves of which Abbott has really been at loggerheads. A few months earlier, the law governor signed into law a private school voucher bill that had long been a top priority, and for the biggest donor at the time, Pennsylvania billionaire Jeff P.S. Rural residents, even that Republican state representatives has strongly opposed the vouchers. We've seen it as a major blow to public education in the area where few private schools exist, but once he achieved a legislative victory, almost went up to restore support in the rural communities. Signing on the same legislature as passed the voucher system in Pennsylvania would cover out $45 million over 2 years to help keep rural hospitals afloat and currently invest in new technology. Rural Texas provide food, $5 and the supplies that yet stuff from the laws of healthcare staff. The governor is supposed to social media and knowledge of the crisis, but not the state's policy that played a part in creating it. After the press conference with Kennedy, Abbott thanks the Secretary and President Trump for ensuring Texas can continue improving health care in rural Texas. The massive cuts to federal health care funding last year, so-called Big Beautiful Bill, have left rural hospitals in many states far worse off. Texas might feel the effects severely, but that's because the state Medicaid program was already so limited. The Big Beautiful Bill is nevertheless project to leave hundreds of thousands more Texans unserved. It's an effort to feed rural posts affected cuts. The federal election penny $50 billion in the rural health transportation funds to the budget bill. Over the next 5 years, Texas will see an estimate $1.4 million. This will be distributed among health care providers throughout the state's rural country. In addition to the hospital, some of these funds will be available for ambulance service or safety nets like the resident Hearn, 30 miles northwest of College Station. It's operated by HealthPoint, which is one federally funded primary care clinics in 8 counties throughout the Bronzo Valley. For the 5 years, Terry Simmons, who worked as a trauma nurse in Dallas Point, going to law school and in the healthcare administration. So some of the health points they know, and after opportunity for underserved Texas communities leaving for Assembly Row in Washington State, where one of the daughters lives. Safety net clinics in Texas has been making big budget cuts in the past year thanks largely to the state's aggressive Medicaid unwinding. Health Point laid off about 10% of the staff and closed 2 clinics. We're now hamstring money. So we really got into stuff as lean as we possibly could without feeling like we're going to have to compromise quality. We're going to have to make hard decisions as the new clinic patient numbers greatly increase. So that's a pretty amount of met need in the air. The new government funding is meant to support wider service available to the uncertain. A clinic like HealthPoint is also an attempt for somebody to adopt new strategies that bridge service gap in Texas. Well, can't go on, but I have to end it now. But this is what we are facing now in Texas for the rural group. Thanks to the big bastard bill. Medicaid cuts, and that's what's led it. Only reason that Texas is getting some money is because they don't want Texas to go blue voting at Taurico and probably vote in more Democrats into Congress.